Welcome to the Rocky Road Podcast, brought to you by Rockbusters, with your host, Dennis Wager. Dennis is a best-selling author and an expert in demolition, rock, and concrete breaking, as well as a professional blaster. He is also president of Rockbusters Incorporated, along with his son, Brian. On the podcast, you'll hear exciting stories of how these challenge types of rock and concrete jobs are done. You learn about the uses of expanding grout and explosive devices. But furthermore, you'll hear about some of the hurdles and struggles entrepreneurs and business owners have had along the way, how they got started, and how they broke through the obstacles and found the path to success. Along with that, some insight for young people and people wanting to get into the industry. So listen in. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, here's Dennis Wager.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for joining in. I want to welcome our guest today, Deb Drummond. Welcome to the show, Deb.
Hey, Dennis. Nice to be here. Number 28.
Yeah. Yeah, how are things going for you?
They're good. We're in the middle of a pre-book launch right now. So it hasn't gone to the public. It's just gone internal. And we're just getting our numbers in. And we just hit number 5 today. So on our way to number 1. So I'm good.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah. You've done a lot of stuff in your career. We've been good friends for many years, like over a decade. I don't know how time flies so fast, but personally for me, you've been a big inspiration just watching you do all the things that you take on and accomplish. A lot of them are super amazing, like the Success Magazine. You know, you're in 48 times. Your reach is 350 million people, and then speaking live in front of 20,000 people. A lot of cool stuff. And then maybe tell us also about your book that you mentioned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you too. And thank you for your friendship. I think it's super important. It's great. Thank you for highlighting those things that kind of are at, the kind of the gift of the stretch, right? And, should probably tell people I've been doing this for a little while. So essentially like, oh my gosh, but it's a 30-year journey. Like left the music industry and then went into this industry that no one knew, right?
Yeah.
Holistic health. 30 years ago, and people are like, what? I'm like, aromatherapy. They're like, aroma what? And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be easy. But I appreciate your friendship too, because it's so important. I talk about it all the time, and you cannot get there alone, even if you're a solopreneur. And it has to be people that understand. I always tell people, like when I'm coaching out, I'm like, do not go to your bank manager and talk about your divorce. And they're like, well, of course I wouldn't. I go, no, but we talk to our friends that aren't entrepreneurs about our business. We tell them that we're tired and they're like, maybe you should take a break, but the entrepreneur knows you should take a push. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to be really careful. You call and you've got drama going on. I got drama going on. We got stuff going on. We're like, oh yeah, cool. What are you doing? Big drama while we're making dinner. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right? Yes.
That's
like you got to have somebody to tell the divorce stuff to.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, business is interesting.
Yeah. So we were kind of joking this morning about it too, like kind of the fake it till you make it. And you had a much fancier or nicer way to put it, which you called it stretch to significance, which I like that a lot better. So we're going to adopt that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, because it is when you are deciding to do something significant, no matter what that is, because for me, look at, right now you talked about our media reach is 350 million in this project is our listenership in this project. We just got the numbers in today and we're losing our mind. In just over a year, we've hit 50 million media impressions, like woo, woo, woo. But someone said, wow, are you surprised? I'm like, no, I feel it. Like I feel it. Like this is the biggest stretch I've experienced. And there are times where you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, I need to grab a YouTube video. I need inspiration. I need a book. I need either Joe Dispenza or I need a little bit of Oprah. I need a little bit of Simon Sinek today. It is a stretch and it feels really uncomfortable. And I've experienced it on many different levels. This one's a whole different ballgame, but it does feel like you're being stretched. I was talking to a woman, Tracy, who's doing something like this similar. She's in Australia, and she's doing a huge project, a huge venture, a huge this. Kind of like, when you did your huge, big undertaking and, rebranding and all that. I felt like I've been neuronally rewired. I
Yeah.
mean, probably for my benefit, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the same with me. When I did the rebranding, it's kind of like, with what happened, it's kind of like the world ended in one given day. And then the next day is, well, after the, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's like, okay, you come up with a plan. So, we hired Trey, our branding company there at the HOCO to do the branding and all that. And we came up with a vision, for 5 years. And we did like a 5-year plan. And it was big. It was, we came out of there with a $55 million annual, expectation. And then it's like, is it real or is it just kind of fictionary in my brain? Just because somebody said, hey, that's possible. You crunch a few numbers, but you don't put in any of the details. And you go, okay, well, if I do this and this makes, $10,000 and I X factor that, it gets me to 55 million over 5 years, right? Is it real? No, it's not. And there's so many times where you get down in the mud and you go, geez, how am I going to do this? Was I just like fooling myself or what am I going to do? Like,
Yeah.
Is it the fake it till you make it? But then this is where I really, love our friendship and love you, because it's like, you got my back, I got your back. And it's in the times where you go like, this is where I am. But then you look back, like when we had dinner at Christmas time there, and it was just like, look at where we were 2 years ago. And we both would have thought, never guessed that we're here. And now you can look back and you go, oh, wow, look at what I really accomplished, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to look back. I think it's important to have, first of all, I think it's important to keep that $55 million 5-year plan alive. Like I think I think the challenge is keeping them alive when you're in the pit. It's like, I tell people, if you were to look at my office outside of what it looks like in this screen, it looks like a Tony Robbins garage sale. I mean, there's a little thing here going, you will go far. There's a little sign here, a sustainable woman's a powerful woman. There's like, this little thing here with Ocean's keychain that gives me inspiration. I got this piece of art that my daughter did when she was like, she's 31. She'd kill me.
Nice.
You know what I mean? She did that when she was like 8. And I think you need those things to keep reminding you that, that you can have that. You can even have it sooner. You have to keep your toes in the fire. Sometimes you have to keep the fight is real. I think the fight is real. I think that's, like the stretch is real. The fight is real. The birthing of a project is real. And it can actually even turn out to be 155 million. You don't even know it, except if you keep your eye on that prize and keep yourself, if you just can keep yourself in that pace, you can keep yourself in that mindset. You have to keep growing the head.
Yeah, I agree. And if you keep pivoting and adjusting to get to where you want to go, I think, but yeah, it's really been surprising for me, because like from the time that we did that rebrand, it was almost like I just took some time to do the research and kind of, construct things, on paper or, in the plan. And it hasn't changed. It's just been like, this is how it's going and this is how it's building. You do go through, peaks and valleys and all that stuff, but the vision itself hasn't changed. And what's really cool is I still believe in it, right? Like I still believe in that. I don't know if it's going to be $55 million, but the $55 million really is irrelevant to me. Like what is important with my vision is that we achieve it, and in achieving it, it also helps so many other people with, a multitude of ways. People doing projects, they're going to get the benefit of a better way to do it. People that are on board with us, like dealers and contractors, they're going to get the benefit of more work, more sales, more money to, feed their families, etc., like that. And that's what I really enjoy, is the production of it all.
Yeah, no, I think it's important. I mean, I love the fact that, that there is a plan, right? A lot of times people don't have plans. And look, I started this whole entrepreneurship in my 20s, and we didn't do business plans, right? Like I was, like I said, we were doing the music thing, and and then I had my moment of clarification, I guess, whatever, my spiritual message that was loud and clear that I needed to turn left. And then of course, now I get to come play in music in a whole different way. But I think it is important to keep your eyes on the prize, write a plan. Like, I'm a big, me, I'm a big strategic plan, reverse engineering. Like you
Yeah.
need to have goalposts, not, hope posts, not hope.
Yeah.
You have to have goalposts, and you have to know if you're close or you're not close, because then how do you know whether to change your decision or change your direction? Like, we're getting somewhere in our business. You're getting somewhere in your business. People are getting places in their business. Is it the place that you want to be? And wouldn't you rather make that decision now? So I think that's been a big part of it, like making a plan and then revisiting the plan. It's kind of like, I'm a journal writer. I used to be a lot more. So writing a journal. I never went back and read my journal. And people are like, oh yeah, I go back and read my journal. It's like, it's probably a good idea to go back and see. I'm very forward thinking. But it is really important, I think, to take a look and go, am I where I'm supposed to be? And if I'm not, how did I go off? And who knows, maybe I'm surpassed it. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off and friggin' go for a ride. Do you know
I
what I
gotta
mean?
tell you, I don't need to look, but I know you've surpassed it.
No. It's no, there's, that's the other thing too, right? What it looks like, what it sounds like, what it is like. Right.
Yeah,
So
but we haven't talked about the planner that you made and
so cool.
produced. That was a game changer for me. Like I signed up, like, well, I got a few of them, and I did just that. Like I wrote it out, and then after the first one was done, you just kind of put it aside in the drawer, and then later you go back and you look at it and you go, oh wow, that was like a very simple thing, and I did accomplish that, right? And now I'm up to here.
Yeah.
And it was very satisfying to be able to see, the things that you wrote down back when, that were, a big goal in your mind at that time, were actually like a little thing, a little stepping stone along the way to where you are.
Yep. I think it's, and I find it hard. I mean, I made the planner. I'm so excited because it's coming out again, right? We took a break. We were dealing with 262 women in a book last year. So we took a break from the planner, which was, not the best decision for me because I had to use another one, which was awful. But anyways, we're back on track. And I love to look back and make time. And I think that's a big issue, right? Is particularly entrepreneurs or people that are, running game, is that it's hard to put time aside to strategize. It's hard to put time aside to do that kind of activity, go over your goals, right at the end of each week where you're at, what you want to do, prioritize, because we think it takes time away. I think what we believe is it takes time away from doing income producing activities.
Right.
Most of the time it's taking time away from doing non-income producing activities, right? So
right. It gets more organized.
Even today, I circled in my book 2 hours at Starbucks to go do some forecasting. And my phone was ringing off this morning. We're in a run to hit number one in the book. And I'm like, I could easily switch those 2 hours out. Easily. Yeah. But for the last 3 nights when I'm going to bed, I've heard, do forecasting, write your numbers, run your numbers. And so it's hard to keep that to yourself, that commitment to take time out to do that productive, clarifying work, because there's always something to do.
Yeah, but maybe talk about like why you created the planner.
Oh, I absolutely will do that. So, well, first of all, it's an entrepreneur day planner. And I created it because I'd been in Success Magazine 48 times, and people kept asking me, how did you do it? 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 And I was in the magazine for sales and acquisition. So building growth and hitting, numbers that were pretty fun. And so I didn't have time to talk to everybody. Yes, I coach. Yes, I train. But some people didn't have the means to be able to access my coaching. And I can only do so much coaching by gift, right? And so I had to think of a way to duplicate some of that information so people had fundamentals of how to at least achieve that in their business. And I love paper planners. I mean, #paper girl all day long. If you come to my house, you'll see I have an office, I have a kitchen office, I have a couch office. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have a bathroom office. I have paper all over my house, and Dennis can contest to that. But for me, it's really paper. And I taught brain health for a kajillion years. And so when you write it, it goes in there. Like whenever I have to introduce someone, I write out the information, and then I don't have to look at it again. So anyway, I have this thing about writing and paper and how important it is. And also it helps people digitally detox, right? Now, I decided to put a paper planner together where it was set up for entrepreneurs to be able to, at the end of each week, end of each month, end of each quarter, and then bi-yearly, be able to track their goals. Because the first thing they do is figure out what they want in 5 years. And then you just go right to 1 year. So your planner's a 1 year. So you know what it is that you want at the end of the year. Most people go, I want, by next Christmas, by next January, by next February, I want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 6 figures a month, whatever your deal is. And then you're like, how are you going to get there? Like, and they'll give you the list of what they're going to do, but they haven't put that list into the quarters. They haven't taken a look at what they really want at the end of the year. And then take and look at what it's going to take. I mean, I did that for Ocean's business, and your people probably don't know that Ocean's 20. And so I'm like, okay, you want to make this so much money a year. This is what your business plan said you have the possibility of making. You were 55 million. He was 305,000. And I said, okay, so in 12 months, where are we going to get it? Like, where's it going to come from? And how's it going to come from? And I can tell you right now with his Patreon numbers, he's surpassed his Patreon numbers. In terms of endorsements, he's way over the charts in endorsements, but sales, he's not. I always said he's got more endorsements than sales right now. He's only been going for 4 months. So we have to readjust. So should we do the Emmys? Oh my God, it's going to cost us much money, but will it help us catch up? So it actually, if you know where you're at the end of each month, at least at the end of each quarter, you can make pretty good, strong guesstimates instead of, hope-amients or just try to, and then honestly, some people are better off than they think they are, or they're doing something that it's working and they don't really know. They're just like, oh, I'm going for it right now. It's working right now, but they would know exactly what they're doing if they tracked it. And then all they need to do is double down on that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where it's important to put the numbers to that as well. And then you can, but like, here's my action and here's, what the numbers, how they relate. But I think that's very good.
That sounds so boring, right? It sounds so boring. Like, it sounds boring until it starts to work for you. Like this is, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Most, we're visionaries. We're creative. We love the process. We don't love the numbers. I don't know why the universe gave me, that kind of engineering type of brain around it when really, I'm a hippie. Like I'm a hippie. Like give me some Janis Joplin and I'm good to go. So that's my favorite. But the other thing that the planner does that I think is pretty cool is that we also understand that marketing is important. And so we have these super QR codes. You got to do it for this year. So you put in a quote, for sure. We QR code it. When people hover over the quote, it literally pops up on people's phones. And so does an arrow, and then it can get sent everywhere. So these super quotes, they're like, people share memes all the time, right? We can even embed a video so people can talk and share and inspire. We got Chloe Morgan. And she's going to you open it up and you can sing. And literally off your paper planner, you get motivation every Monday and every Sunday. I just think that's the bomb, the coolest.
Yeah, no, I do too. I do too. And I remember you saying, like, when you were first starting to make it, like the reason that you were making it, was basically you couldn't buy one because they like the Staples version, right? Which is plain pages.
I know, that's true. That is the absolute truth. That I first decided to do a planner because I was so pissed. I couldn't find anything that I liked. And I was literally using 3 different planners. I liked the personal development out of one. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Because you don't think
but that's where the core essence of an entrepreneur comes out of the light. It's just, I can't buy that, so I'll just make one, right?
Like Post-it notes woman. Oh my gosh. What's her income these days? Man, she hit big with that. And the woman who came up with the white that you put on, whiteout.
The whiteout,
Whiteout, that was just someone's concoction.
Yeah.
Jim.
That's what's interesting is where things start, right? And then where they go.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. So then tell us more about your book.
The book that we're doing right now?
Yeah.
The one that your gorgeous, beautiful daughter is in?
That one, yeah.
Stunning. Her picture is stunning. So it started with the planner, actually. Like I had a planner. It went out of print way back in the day. And went to the store and there was no Google. I hate saying that. I hate saying there was no Google because it makes me sound like I'm friggin' 90 and I'm not 90. but there just was no Google, and so I decided I was going to do a planner, because the one that I was working out of was gorgeous, and black and white pictures of these women and women photography. It was a chicks planner. And anyways, I owned a holistic health clinic at the time. I was not in media, and that went to the wayside. And then walking across the bridge in Vancouver, first year of our global health crisis, so I was by myself walking to go meet my girlfriend. I literally heard the words "It's time" scream so loud in my ear, it made me jump. And I won't go through the whole story because we don't have a lot of time, but that took me to picking up my phone and calling my publicist and saying, it's time to do that women's book I've been yakking about. And the women's book I've been yakking about was a women's book of black and white pictures of photography and blah, 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 like I saw in that original planner.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Anyways, we created this book. And again, I won't do the whole story. It's a cool story. Everyone has to come May 11th and figure it out. And if you haven't been on May 11th, you'll have to come over to our streaming station and our streaming channel and watch it later. But it's 262 women, entrepreneurs, creatives, and media, rock, legacy, and tell all. And it's a full page spread ad, like a full page spread ad on a woman that talks about who she is, what she does, and this gorgeous black and white picture. And it's really just this incredible book of gumption. It is really incredible to listen to women's stories. This has been like a 3-year project coming to a wrap up May 11th. And then we've got a 5-year book tour planned. So after Vancouver, the first place is, let me see, Ireland. Go to Ireland.
That was my first guess.
Yeah. So it's just about sharing sustainability. It's about solidarity. It's 22 summits and a book for women and those that support women. It's not an exclusive